Howdy, howdy. Cool Ranch Corner episode 80, baby.
God.
Right?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
nice round number. We do not have a guest this week. I talked to Draven Mayberry, and he was attending a graduation. So we're gonna move that until to probably the next episode. But also Chris, as you can see, is hacking,
Yeah.
so no issue there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so I guess I'll go ahead and talk about my experience with that a little bit. Um, so what's happening is I'm transferring positions. This guy's over here shilling Sprite. Um,
Plus tea.
um,
It's delicious.
I'm transferring positions at like one of the companies that I work for, and so I have a week between switches. So I had my last day at that original position yesterday, and it was really weird because, um, like there's people who I've only known for like a month, who are like, oh my god, I'm so sad to see you go, and there's people who I've known since like I first started the job, and so it was like it was a lot of like there's some people where I was like, dang man, like yeah, I've known you for a while. There's people who are I've barely known for a little bit, and it was still kind of sad to see them go because it was like, man, like if I'd known you for longer, we would have been really good friends, But yeah, no, it was interesting. I haven't had like an experience like that in a while, like not since like maybe high school. Like even when I was at Best Buy, like there wasn't a lot of fanfare when I left. Because
All right, Casey's waving at me.
oh, um, but yeah, so that was really interesting. And then I'm in the process of like getting all my accounts set up for like internet and electricity and all that. And
Hell yeah.
everyone wants to make it difficult. So okay, really, really, just
Yep.
I want to make a complaint real quick. Okay, AT&T. All right, your website sucks because I go to click register on any other website and it helps me make an account. Okay, in order to make an account for AT&T, you have to first purchase a plan and then your account gets made. Okay,
Bro,
what
this
is
website looks awful too.
like? What are you guys doing? Like, genuinely,
Go back to 2012, bro. That
if
was...
if I click register on a website, it should just make an account for me. Instead, it says enter your email and zip code. I put my email and zip code in, and it says data's invalid. What do you mean it's invalid? Okay, I go and look it up. It means that you don't have an account made already because you need to purchase a plan. Why make it confusing? At least tell me if in order to make an account, you need to make a plan. I had to chat GPT it, bro. Are you kidding me?
Oh.
I had to ask an AI how to use your website. You guys suck. Anyway, so
Bro's heated.
well, I mean, it's
AT&T.
fresh, okay? It happened today. But so and then
For
getting
internet? Is that what it was
yeah,
about? Or...
yeah, and
Yeah.
then getting electricity set up. I mean
So
that's
you
a little
got
weird.
AT&T set up though? Like, did you figure it
Yeah,
out?
that's
Is
and
that the only option you had there?
yeah, but
Is it
I think
how fast is it?
300 megabits, and it's like $55. And for context, I pay 50 and I get like 200 right now. But I also
I,
think I think
I pay I
oh,
pay like 200.
I was waiting for that. Yeah. Because I think I saw
Oh, I
you can
want
get
that
gigabit for
fiber.
like you can get gigabit for like 100. But the thing is,
Yeah.
I think we get fiber over there as well, and it's unlimited like data limits. Because like I know here, right now I have Cox, and that I mean I hate Cox, bro. It's such an awful provider, dude. A terabyte limit per month. I went over it the first couple months. I was so
Oh
mad.
yeah, having a limit is so stupid.
Yeah, and I was like, "What do you? Why? Like, what is the reason for that?" It's not like,
Just so they can make money.
yeah, I know, but like, I mean, and I guess that's why a lot of people have like issues with like the idea of like, oh, there's like a monopoly in your area, because you have stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Well, the issue that we have here right now is that there's a bunch of fiber companies who got permission to start installing fiber here, and like a couple of them, not the one that not Easy Fiber, the one that I'm supposed to get, but some of the other ones, they were like damaging like sewer lines and all kinds of stuff like that, and the city was like, no more installing fiber until you guys fix what you messed up. Because like I saw some guy in the news, he's like, I've lived here 30 years, never had somebody ruin something so bad and then like take forever to fix it. You know, and I'm like, damn, that sucks.
Dude, I saw this video where this guy was so I didn't know this was a thing, but he was trying to get grass to grow in his backyard, and there was a spot that was just dead, and he was like, okay, something must be under there that's causing that. Dude gets that freaking like what is the thing like where it has like the bucket that like can pick stuff up, the big like it's not a bulldozer,
Oh, you're talking about like an actual like
like a vehicle, but
I don't
whatever.
know, it's like a tractor something, but I forgot what it's called.
Um,
But I
but
know what you're talking about.
he had one of those, and so he's digging up a bunch of dirt, and there's a freaking boulder under all the dirt, and that's why the grass wasn't growing there. Okay,
It's called a backhoe or an excavator.
okay, an excavator is probably what I was looking for. Yeah, so
I think everybody calls it a backhoe though.
okay, but
A
dude,
backhoe?
as he's pulling out the boulder, bro breaks some of the pipes in his backyard. And the thing is, in the video, he does not acknowledge it at all. It's like, dude was probably like, man,
That sucks.
yeah. So I was like, dude, there's no way that was worth it for like all the
Yeah.
crap he had to go through to get
Well,
that
when we
boulder out.
when we moved in here, we had a this is a perfect segue for me. To talk about like house updates. We had a tree growing in our toilet pipe thing, you know, like in the front, and so luckily we had it inspected before we bought the house,
Oh, so
and so
okay.
they gave us a credit to like have it fixed, and so we didn't have to pay for it because it was like, okay, you could either have it fixed and like you won't have this issue again for like at least 10 years, or because it's like one of those things that has happened since the house was built, and I think the house was built in like 2006, you know.
Oh
So
wow.
um which is, I'll talk about that in a second too. I've been seeing people complain that like the new houses that are being built everywhere are like terrible. They have all kinds of problems. Like people just don't, the quality control isn't there, I guess, that used to
That's
be building
ironic considering
houses.
all the new codes they have and stuff. But
Yeah, you would think they would, but I think it's because they're all trying to like, you know, save money.
yeah.
um what was it? Oh, the other option was like once a year we were gonna have to put like root killer like down the pipe,
So
you
I,
know, and it's
I
like let's just get it fixed,
I don't
man.
understand. So if you're saying you get rid of the tree that's there, but
The
it's still
roots.
so it'll still come
We didn't get
back
rid of
though?
a I mean, it's like an inevitable thing. I don't know. Like the chances of it happening again because of where the tree is like pretty likely. It's just that's just one of the things that you deal with having a tree in your front yard, you know? Like
Uh,
um anyways, house updates. I think my office has the most boxes in it compared to like everywhere else. I really need to get these boxes out of here, dude. But we're mostly unpacked, which is great. And like I told Bobby the other night, I was like, our master bedroom actually feels kind of like spacious now. Like there's not a bunch of stuff everywhere. She's like, I'm working on it. I'm like, no, that's a good thing, you know? So that's good. I'm gonna talk about it later, but we just yesterday went to Lazy Boy and got 2 more seats for our couch. So I'm really excited
oh well.
about that. Yeah. Because our couch like seemed huge when we were in the apartment, and then we moved here and it seems small.
Well, dude. So speaking of which, my futon that I've had since I moved into the old apartment, um, so I don't know if I mentioned a while ago, but like one of the legs broke on it when I was moving it, and so I was like super lazy, super scared of trying to fix it because I was like, man, am I gonna make it worse? And what it was is like there's like a plank of wood that one of the legs attaches to, and it just like snapped.
Mm.
Like that's straight up what happened. Like when the leg came off like that, and I was like, man, like, I mean, I could try like when I move, actually, try and put some like wood planks in there to kind of use as new legs,
Yeah.
right? Well, I finally just had to like assess the damage, and I turned it over, and I was like, you know, this isn't that bad. And I grabbed a hot glue gun. I
You
just,
fixed it.
I just like all in there. I spent like half an hour just.
And like I feel like glue guns are like so slow, you know, it's like
Well, so part of it,
I mean, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
You
but
can like
so you can
control it, but
if you push on the back of the glue stick, it'll actually push it a little bit faster because it's just like a there's like a plunger that kind of
oh yeah,
forces
yeah,
it, right? And so
yeah.
there's only so much force you can put on it. So the more force you put on the back, the more it'll actually go in. Um, but yeah, so I just like smothered it in hot glue, and I haven't obviously like tested it because I've taken it apart, so I'm not gonna sit on it. But it doesn't seem like it's gonna have issues. Like I don't know. I mean, I might replace it eventually, but I don't know, man. It has cup holders, so I was like, I kind of want to keep it, but um,
Yeah.
so hopefully it'll survive the
Uh,
move.
short film update. So Hunters supposed to shoot June 13th and 14th. We went location scouting a week ago, and the location's great. It legitimately looks like we're in the middle of the New Mexico wilderness, but it's like somebody's property, so we have
Oh wow.
access to electricity. Yeah, it's great. We found like great spots. I mean, it's rare that you are able to shoot something with that many like scene changes that we have, or at least for a short film that's short. Like I've seen short films that are 10 minutes and it's like literally the same spot the whole film. You know what I mean? This has like basically four different scenes, or at least it's broken into four different scenes. And that that location, like I mean literally like each spot is like maybe 50 feet away from each other, 50 to 100 feet, and it looks like you're in a completely different like area. It's cool.
Dang.
Yeah. So I'm excited. Crew's pretty much all together. I got a BTS team to come on board. They gave me a deal because I told them, you know, if everything goes well, like you guys can work on Always Ready and make stuff for like the Blu-ray and stuff like that, you know, like the featurette stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they would love to do that. And so they're gonna shoot it on an FX3, which they're gonna do it vertical so that like everything's easy for me to put on social media for this one. And they're using a Sony FX3, which is like what they shot Civil War on. So I'm like, it's gonna look really good. For BTS footage
Yeah.
for social media, you know, like, so that's cool. I have had like this project has taught me so much about being a producer and a director. I've had to quote unquote put out so many fires in terms of like that could have derailed the project and like delayed it, and then it would have like fell apart. Like I had a big fiasco yesterday, and it was like I understand now why I see some people they like direct one film and they're like I'm never doing that again. It's because it's like it's stressful, man. Like it's like okay, if this gets messed up, I have to call like 20 something people and tell them, hey, we're either not doing this or we need to figure out if you can do this on a different like set of days. And nobody likes that phone call,
Yeah.
you know. So it was like doing everything I can to stop that from happening, you know. And it's
Well,
like
that's why I'd never be like a like. I know people are always like, "Oh yeah, I want to be a manager someday," and it's like, dude, that sucks. Like that kind of
you have to give
position
it's
sucks.
it's really fun when you get to give good news, like, dude, guess who I got attached to this, you know?
Yeah.
But then when you have to give bad news, it sucks.
Well,
It's the
like
worst.
like so with the job that I left yesterday, like we had a union, right? And the union stuff, like it could get really weird. And it's like, hey, like here's the bad news. Because of the way the union works, you can't, you can't go onto this shift until you wait like another 2 weeks or blah 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 or whatever, right? And stuff like that, where it just kind of like big thing, right?
Hmm.
So because I'm going from a union to a non-union position, if I was like, for whatever reason, I needed to come onto a first shift time when I'm on third shift usually, there is no like I have to wait a week. I could just tell my supervisor and he's like, all right, you're good, right? But with the union, if something came up where I needed to work 8 hours the next day, but I couldn't do it on third shift and I had to do it on first, I would be screwed. I couldn't do that. And so little things like that, it's like being the supervisor has to explain, okay, no, you can't do that because blah blah blah, union this, union that. That's like I'm so glad that I never had any aspiration to be in that position because it's just not fun. It's not fun. Like there's so many rules you have to dance around and stuff like that, and yeah, not my thing. So
Yeah. Um, always ready update. Currently in talks with a pretty big name who's interested in the film. We're currently talking numbers, and if that works out, there will be an announcement, and I'm really excited because it's like one of those situations where it's like this could be the big domino that like really sets the momentum off, and then like this happens, like
Mm.
this year. So we'll see. I don't want to say anything too soon because shit happens. Like this, that's one thing I've learned too with that film is that like things will seem like they're gonna work out perfectly, and then like one little thing changes that. And it's like, yeah, but it's coming along. I mean, I've shared the newest version of the script with some people after doing like a dialogue pass, and yeah, everybody's given really good feedback and sees why like I'm pushing to make it as my first film, so it's really cool to see. Um, but I mean, other than that, I'm ready to talk about how AI might affect jobs.
Well, I mean, did you see the Google, was it VO? Is that what it's called? Dude,
The film industry is freaking out right
I'm
now.
seeing clips like like this thing popped up on Instagram, and I've literally thought it was like a
A
scene
movie,
from the
right?
Titanic that I had not seen before. It was crazy. I was like, wait a minute, because what it was is there's like a chunk of ice that falls onto this boat, right? And then
Okay.
everybody runs away from it, and then this guy comes up to the camera and he's all, "How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood?" Right? And I was like, "What the?" I was like, "Okay, maybe this is like a movie that's like referencing the Titanic, and it's just like a
But the
weird
fact
scene."
that you thought it was a movie,
Yeah, yeah,
like,
and
oh no.
and then it goes to another clip, and it's somebody else saying the exact same thing, just in a different context, and I was like, "Oh, I know what this is now." But like, there was a good like period where I was genuinely like, "Oh, this is from like Titanic or something." Like that was crazy. But
Yeah, I had a buddy who's a sorry, excuse me, who's a manager. This Sprite, dude. It's good. I
is
think
it
you would
like
really like
is
this
it like
Sprite. Let's
Arnold
see.
Palmer kind of?
Yeah, but then you get some of the lime, so it's like different. But
Huh.
it's I think you would really like the tea aspect of it. Anyways, this manager that I know, he always sends me like videos and stuff, and he sent me one and he was like, "Whoa." And it was like they made a it was like a it looked like the opening of a movie where like a SWAT team was getting ready to like go in to this house, like a cartel hideout thing. And the guy's like, stay on your toes. These guys are fucking dangerous and this and that. I'm like, dude, what? Like this is like legitimately feels like it was like Mayor of Kingstown or something, and I'm like, yep, we fucked.
Well, and see,
I
and
was like,
the thing is, like,
oh,
it's good enough to where like I said, like the at first glance it looks legit, right? There's definitely like if you're
yeah.
looking for it, you can tell it's not
There's
real.
some uncanny stuff, yeah,
Yeah,
um, but it's like
it's
any
getting really
complaints,
good.
any
Yeah.
complaints is like it's gonna get better within like another 3 months, and
Well, I think about
it's improving rapidly.
so I'll only be working two jobs for about another year, right?
Okay.
And my brain is not only thinking about like, man, like there's that's so much time, but it's also like, okay, where are things going to be at in the world in a year, right?
Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to think about what mindset will I be in a year, because the world will have changed so much by then. And I mean, so I mean, I even brought this up before we started, but like Bitcoin hit 112K like yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And it's like first off, why? And second, like what's next, right? Like what
I
kind of stuff's happening in the next year?
I saw some speculation that the reason why it's doing that well is because people are literally trusting Bitcoin more than they are the stock market right now.
Which is crazy. Because I mean, that was what they wanted
Very
it to do in the
crazy.
first place. Though, it was like another way to like, it was something else you could depend on, right? But I
Yeah.
mean, Bitcoin has been so volatile. Like, I think it was like 70K like not too long ago, and now it's back up to that. Like it
Imagine
hit
if there was
another
like a
all-time high.
giant Bitcoin crash though, and it like got cut in half. Like,
Yeah, but dude, you would need so many people to sell off so much. Like it's
Well, that's the thing is it's not like the stock market where like we know that like, this is a thing that's been around for hundreds of years and we know that like wherever it goes, like it's on average, you still make this percentage every year, even if you go through the bad years. With Bitcoin, there's no track record like
I'm
that.
I'm
So
waiting for it. So, and I know like people are gonna be like, "Well, you're stupid because like, of course you're gonna wait and it might not actually happen." But
I
I'm
just
waiting for
realized
it.
your headset is like
Yeah, I know, dude. I need to get super glue and fix this. But I'm waiting until I move because I don't want to buy super glue and then like use it once and have it. I know it's so
Hey, dude.
jank. It looks like crap, dude. It looks so
Oh,
bad.
dude, how did I not notice that?
Well, it was like this last time. Like,
In the middle, like you're talking, it just it like pops out completely.
well, because yeah, literally, it's just this fabric needs to be like glued on here, but um. Anyways, so
Continue.
Jesus. I'm waiting for it to go down like maybe like once it hits like 60 again. But like one thing I will say is it seems like altcoins still aren't doing very well. Like I think it's only Bitcoin that's doing well,
Even
which is so
Ethereum has
crazy.
like been really disappointing with its
Yeah.
performance.
Well, it's because like
I'm
you
glad I
have
got out of Ethereum when I did.
you have all these projects that are like, oh yeah, it's faster, it does this, does that, but because they're constantly changing crap, it ends up being more of a hindrance. Like Ethereum, when they went from ETH 1.0 to ETH 2.0, and people could stop mining it, or they couldn't mine it anymore. Um, like no one cared about Ethereum anymore because you couldn't make money
Yeah,
off of it.
they thought it was gonna have the opposite effect, where it was gonna be like, oh, now it's more rare, so more people want
Yeah,
it, and it was like, no, now people feel like there's not really like it was like the one thing that was keeping it useful
yeah.
that you could mine it.
I mean, I still have GPUs to mine with, and I don't because it's just not worth it
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. Well, the thing is like if you go back like 5 years ago, I feel like people were talking about how like crypto is the future and all this stuff, and like this is gonna happen by this year and stuff like that, and like it really hasn't. The only thing that's been like I guess constantly talked about is Bitcoin, but it's so expensive that like the average person's like, I'm never gonna be able to buy
Well,
any
yeah,
Bitcoin.
and it's because
You know?
I know somebody at work they texted me and they were like, "Hey, I was looking into getting into crypto, but I don't understand how it works. Like, how do I actually buy Bitcoin?" And I was like, "Oh, you download Coinbase and then you just
I heard
purchase it."
Coinbase got like hacked or something. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I did see something about that, and then I was like, I don't care because I have like 4 cents in there right now. But
Well, I care more about like data and stuff. Like they have like your social and all that
that's
stuff.
true. But anyway, so
But
this
I have
well,
I have identity theft protection, so I'm not
uh,
concerned about it. But
this guy was like, okay, well, how much is a Bitcoin? And I was at the time it was like 60K, and I was like, yeah, it's about $60,000. He goes, $60,000? I can't afford that. And I was like, yeah, but you don't buy a whole
yeah, you can buy a
Bitcoin.
chunk. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was like, it doesn't work like that. And the guy like never responded. I was like, all right. I mean,
If
like,
you're like, you mean I'm gonna put in $5,000 and own like a tenth of a coin?
well,
Or
that,
some
that's what's
bullshit.
so interesting is because like, can you even do that with stocks? Can you buy partial stocks? Yeah, you can, right?
I don't. No, I don't think you can.
Really?
Yeah, I think you have to buy an actual like full stock.
See, and I guess that's what makes crypto different is you don't have to buy a full
Yeah, like I
coin.
said, it's I don't know. It's so weird. I don't know. There's too many factors to it. But anyways, the AI thing. I mean, so this like what we were talking about, where it's making like clips that look like borderline like film. It does 7 seconds at a time, and the reason why it's such a game changer is because before that, this AI thing that Google has, you would like generate a clip and then do another prompt to generate the next 7 seconds, and it would like it would not
There
it
would be
would lose
continuity
track of the
issues.
facial, yeah, like the faces would change and stuff, and now it actually like keeps continuity of like the
Yeah.
facial features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like part of me wants to go like are we fucked? Like literally like are they just gonna start making AI movies? But at the same time, I don't I think at least at first there's gonna be so much pushback and boycotting that like it's one of those things where like until somebody releases like a full AI movie in theaters, like I just don't see it catching on. But even if it does, like I saw a joke on TikTok. I can't remember the guy's name, but he does really good skits because they're always like satirical. And it was like this guy going to the movies, and it's like, oh, all right, so yeah, I guess I'll see a movie. And it's like, all right,
Oh,
do you want
I've
to
seen
see
this.
the
Yeah,
AI generated movie, or do you want to see the one that's with real people? And it's like, oh, well, of course, real people. All right, well, that'll be $50. And
yeah.
it's like, what? Well, the AI one's $5. And it's like, well, I guess I'll see the AI one. And then it like cuts to him in the theater, and it's just like a bunch of ads.
Yeah.
Like the screen has like 30 ads on it, like before the movie starts, and it's just like,
Well, but that's I mean, it's a good
because
point
that's how
though,
they
like,
make the money, right?
yeah, like
Sell
so
ads.
with the AI stuff, like yeah, I mean, it makes things cheaper, but that also means that if you want something that's handmade, there's going to be a premium for it. Because yeah, you can watch a movie that's AI generated and it's, still a
Yeah,
movie, but if you want something that's unique and like has not been done before, like there's a completely original, you would have to get it from a human, and people might just be
yeah.
like, well, it's easier to just do it with AI, so I might as well not even try. Like it's
I mean, it almost feels like it's gonna be like racist against robots, but AI, where it's like, I don't watch AI
well,
content.
but that's how it is already, dude. Like I mean, even
Yeah, well, I
with
mean,
so
there.
we'll talk about it later, but like Call of Duty had so they're releasing grief mode, and yeah, so like from Black Ops 2, we'll talk about that.
I
But
don't remember what it is, but yeah,
uh,
we'll talk about it during gaming.
so one of the icons, or actually maybe it wasn't the grief mode, but there was an icon where it shows a guy holding a gun, and someone was like, "Oh, that's a secret. It's fine." And it's like, "No, dude. Like elbows don't do that." Like the guy had his elbow was like this, but he had the grip on the gun like this. I was like,
So it's like,
yes.
what the hell?
And so everyone was like, "That's AI generated. That does not look right." Like it's stuff like that where it's like it'd be different
Yeah.
if people actually had some
Well,
quality control on it, but people were like, "Oh yeah, it looks all right. Go ahead and ship it." And it's like that's why people don't like AI, is because it does, you can tell, and it doesn't look good. It doesn't.
there's
Like
two parts of the entertainment industry other than social media that I can see it running rampant, and it's because they're not unionized, and that's the video game industry and VFX. I don't know
oh
how
wow.
VFX artists don't have a union. They should have a union because they're like the most overworked, like most like it's like the most cutthroat part of the business. I know somebody who works at a VFX company, and he's talking about how like the jobs are just disappearing because they're like, oh, why are we gonna have like 30 people working on VFX for this when we can just have like 10 and they just use AI?
Yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like AI used as more of a tool as opposed to just as an employee is good.
He said they've been using it in VFX for like the last 10 years, just nobody's talked about it until now. So,
Yeah, but also the term AI is very broad, because like I mean, even in like Call of Duty, once again, you can have an AI enemy, and it's stupid, it's dumb, right? But you can have an
yeah,
AI that
yeah.
actually, like, I mean, dude, the Fortnite thing. You saw Darth Vader was added to Fortnite
Cussing at people.
and getting racist and stuff. Yeah, but like, dude, they've been trying to do that for a while. Like, I know, like, there was a Minecraft mod that came out like a couple years ago when ChatGPT first became like well, I guess 2 or 3 years ago when it first became like really popular, where you could type in chat and say like, "Hey, I need you to go and like mine for iron," and it would go and do that, and then
Yeah.
like so there's times where it would be like attacked by an enemy, and it would tell you like, "Hey, like I see a creeper," or something like that. Like they had stuff like that, and it's really cool. Like that's a really cool thing to have in games. But imagine like you have that in a game where you can have like a follower that you can actually like talk to. It's like, "Hey, I need you to go grab that."
Did
Like
you
in your mic,
did
it
you
will go
see
grab stuff.
Jordy 2D's Darth Vader video?
I did not.
It, he's like it was just like calling him out. Like he would be like, it's something something, and he's lying. He's like and like he like dies, he like goes down to fall damage, and he's like, oh, I got hit, and he's like, nah, he broke his legs.
But
I saw it.
so, so they still have Darth Vader in the game.
Yeah, they just patched like the thing that was causing it to go like rampant, but
Well, because I mean, like I mean, not to get it like too deep into it, but
I
like
didn't see any of the clips where he was cussing and stuff. I just saw like headlines.
I saw one where someone said something about I think it was like Mexicans, right?
Oh
It's,
no.
yeah, and and like the thing is, what Darth Vader said in like the universe, like the terminology that he was using, it was like, oh, that's very Star Wars, but because he was talking about like an actual ethnicity, it was like, oh wait, that's weird. He said something about being a smuggler, and I was like, ah, I was like, oh no, I was like,
Jeez, dude.
I was like,
Oh.
that's, I don't know how that got through the cracks, but all right. So yeah,
Well,
like
I mean, so the reason why I brought up the topic is because like I hear like the people that are panicking right now are like people who work at like I don't know what you would call it, like a shipping yard where they, shipping containers and stuff. Like
yeah,
they're already working on implementing AI to like use these freaking like machines that move the
well,
containers and
like
stuff.
Boston Dynamics has I know they have, God, what is it called? But it's like this arm that has like plungers on it, and it can move boxes, right? And that was the thing a
Yeah.
few like I don't mean maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago, right? But now they have it's like a new version of Atlas. I don't remember what it's called. Atlas is the humanoid robot, right? And they've had a certain version for once
Just
again like
reminds me of Advanced Warfare.
yeah. They've had it for like 7 or 8 years, but they came out with this new one like this past year that like it's freaky how like
Yeah, well, it's
well it
it's
moves.
that, and then the next thing that I heard was at risk is truck drivers, the ones who like literally just like
They've been
drive
at risk for a
semis.
while, yeah. And I
Yeah,
know like Tesla has the self-driving semi trucks, and I
and I
think there
mean,
was a company that actually had a truck that drove like a pretty long distance by itself, which is pretty awesome. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? Truck drivers, I think that sucks for them, but also, would you want to be a truck driver? I feel like that job
see,
must suck.
that I literally was gonna say like it's one of those things where I'm like, I mean, if it makes the roads safer,
Yeah, but also, I mean,
you
dude,
know,
being a truck driver, like, I saw this video, or actually, no, it wasn't a video. It was a picture where, it was saying, look at the difference between like this side of the face, the other side of the face, and what it was is this truck driver had always had the sun on one side of their face whenever they were driving,
oh
and
wow.
so you could see it had aged at a much faster rate than the other side of their face, and
Well,
like
dude, I
that's
mean,
scary, dude.
they sit for so long, they abuse caffeine, they do all these things that like, I mean, they're literally like, because they get paid well, but
Yeah,
I mean, they're paying with it for they're paying for it with their life, you know.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
yeah, it's just it's a really shitty
And
profession,
now
but like,
you could make the argument, well, doesn't that mean that you should have just better conditions for truck drivers? And it's like, yeah, but you can only do so much, dude. And
yeah,
especially like I
it's
know, like I knew somebody who was a truck driver for the company that I worked for, and like they told me they were like, yeah, sometimes we would be told to like actually skirt around the rules a little bit. Like they would tell you to go past the limits you were supposed to just because they wanted to get stuff there on time. And it's like that sucks, dude. And I mean, whether or not that's true, that's a whole other thing, right? They could just be complaining, but there's times that they were like, I did stuff that I felt like I wasn't supposed to, you know. So,
yeah.
like
Um,
it's
I don't
it's
like talking
bittersweet.
about it. I don't like talking about it publicly because I don't want to sound like a dick, but it's basically like, well, I'm glad I chose like a career field that is dictated by my brain, like I like an artistic career field. You know what I mean? It's like nobody else can like do what I do the way that
Yeah,
I do. You know,
yeah.
but
Because I mean, like AI, it's at the end of the day, it's just building off what other people have done, and you could say, oh, well, that's what humans are doing. You know, like
I,
people have to get inspiration
I
from somewhere, right? But so far, AI doesn't seem to be able to like make new ideas. It can take old
have you
ideas and turn
seen
them into
those
new
videos
ones.
where people are like Chat GPT told me that, wrote this prompt for a viral video, and it's like terrible.
Yeah,
And like they like do what it
dude.
says and everything, and it's terrible.
Well,
But
so like
obviously it goes viral because it's funny, you know.
asking like ChatGPT or Grok to like tell a joke. almost never goes well, right? Like
Yeah,
it.
no, there's a human factor to humor, creativity, and stuff like that that I think it's one of the last things that AI is going to figure out. I mean, even this stuff we're talking about with like making films and stuff like that, somebody still has to give it the prompt, you know, and
Yeah.
like that SWAT scene that I was talking about, like that was incredibly difficult to make still because like there's little things where like each for each 7 seconds you have to go, okay, well, you know, this was messed up, like you need to fix this, you know, and it's like you got to tweak it, and it still takes time. But I don't know, the point is like, do you think, I mean, because that joke that we were talking about that that guy did where it was like, oh well, the AI movie's like, you know, way cheaper.
Yeah.
Do you think people will actually opt to go watch an AI movie just because it's cheaper?
I so
I think a small percentage.
I think it depends because eventually movies will get like AI movies will get to the point where they're actually like good, right?
Yeah,
Maybe
and I
not
mean, I
great,
think
but
if
good.
like a big actor or something like that, like basically says, "Oh, you mean I can like retire and just sign over my likeness, and then AI can just use me,
And
and
I
it's
mean,
like I'm still acting forever,"
and that's not out of the
you know?
question because now we've had two people who have done that. Bruce Willis did that. I think what he sold his likeness to was it Japan or China or something like that. And
Yeah, that was like a whole like messed up thing
and
though.
then
That,
I mean even the Darth Vader
by the
thing.
way, I think it's a wild swing today.
Oh, I'm doing flavor bomb. Um, so I like what's the I'm blanking and I'm really disappointed in myself. The guy who did the voice of Darth Vader, what was his name?
I don't remember. He's in the Sandlot.
But his family actually like said like they were the ones that said that it was okay to do that. And so yeah, of course there might be some actors who are like, yeah, I'm too old to do this. Like I don't want to do this anymore, but I still want to make money off of it. Like I'm sure they wouldn't pass the
Yeah.
opportunity. And so although there's certain actors who are like, no, like I don't do this just for the money. Do it because it's something I like doing. You know?
Well, I think movies is like movies and TV shows are one of those things where like I think the average person understands, like especially in today's day and age where like social media like shows so much behind the scenes, that it takes an incredible like a huge team of people to make this stuff, you know, like it's not like, oh, like, I mean, it's rare that like, you know, 5 or 10 people get together and make a feature, like it's possible, but usually it's like, you know, 50 to 100 people
Yeah.
for like a Disney movie. I mean, watch the credits after a Marvel movie and be like, holy shit, like a
Yeah.
thousand people worked on this, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Well, and
And
so,
I
that's
don't
another
know,
thing.
I just watching something knowing that like it just was generated by a computer, just like it's like, I don't know, it's lazy. It's like like, do you want to go eat like a gourmet meal or eat a shitty $2 fast food cheeseburger, you know? Like
So
sometimes the cheeseburger's good, you know, like cuz you're craving it, but I don't know if people are going to crave AI movies like that.
and so there's instances where it's not just art related though, and that's I think that's the thing that sucks is
I guess I
because
mostly care about the art
yeah,
aspect, but
AI is both really good and really bad because yeah, you have certain things where you want it to be automated, right? Like, I mean,
yeah.
biggest thing I remember I kept seeing this post about there was an AI that had figured out that someone was developing breast cancer before you would even show up on X-rays. Like,
100% should be
yeah,
used for medical stuff
yeah,
to save lives. 100%.
yeah, and then like I know,
Because it's crazy to me that you can go to one doctor and they'd be like, dude, you need to get checked out. And you go to another doctor and they're like, ah, you're fine.
yeah, yeah.
You know, that's not cool.
And so on topic of like stuff that Google has been doing, they had a thing recently that they revealed where um they what was it? Is it Google DeepMind or whatever? They basically had it solve a bunch of math problems, but it was training itself to find the best way to solve them, and it like um I don't know like how deep into math you've ever gotten, but uh
And
so
not very deep. I was like, I'm joining the Coast Guard. I don't even know how to do calculus.
I took calculus and honestly like I don't remember much from it, but I do remember that you have to do like matrix multiplication and that stuff sucks. Like it's not it's like they have you
I
can do it on
really,
a calculator, but it's not easy, and even on a calculator you can mess it up very easily. But
I was
they
really good at math and up until geometry. And geometry just totally killed my
so
like
Geometry was fine. It was when we started like I think I got to
It was
math
the advanced
analysis.
geometry.
Math
Like
analysis
advanced
was
geometry
stupid.
fucked me up.
So I won't get too deep into it, but
Sorry,
ma-
sidetrack.
math was cool up until I didn't know why we were doing it.
I liked algebra.
Well, because
Like
algebra is
algebra's
such an
fun.
easy thing to apply to like general. Oh, hey, I'm getting um, X amount of apples, and an apple costs $2. Wow. Okay, so I
It's
need to
like
know.
actually useful too,
Yeah,
you
if
know,
I'm gonna
like
get this
yeah.
many apples and each one costs $2, I know how much I'm gonna have to have in order to pay for this. Basic algebra is super useful. I don't understand why they put this into our brain so hard. The freaking slope intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. Do you know what that means? It's
Wait, you
literally
talk
yeah. It's literally just a way of saying yeah. This is how to tell like how a
um
line increases on a graph. It's yeah.
I remember when I was in geometry class and like the teacher was like, why, like I seriously think the teacher just sucked at teaching geometry. That was part of it. But he we like took a test and like a bunch of people like failed it and like I like almost failed it. And he goes, "What's going on? Why are we having such a hard time with this? Do we need to go all the way back to like this lesson?" And somebody was like, "Yeah, probably." And he's like, "Why? Like, why aren't you guys taking this seriously? You don't think you're gonna use geometry like when you have a career?" And I was like, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't plan on being a carpenter." Like, and everybody's just quiet. I'm not gonna work in construction.
Well, and that's the
Like,
thing. So I remember. So originally I was gonna get my degree in mechanical engineering, and pretty quickly into it, I was taking like statics, and I was like, first off, not only is this kind of hard, and the teacher doesn't really seem to care, but like, I I don't really want to do this anymore because if this is the kind of math that I have to do, it's like just to make sure a freaking building set. I was like, this is a lot, and I get the point of us learning this. Computers can do it, and
yeah,
like
like it was legitimately a saying when I was in elementary school. Like,
you're
you
not gonna have
guys
a
need to know
calculator in your
this.
pocket.
You're not gonna have a calculator in your pocket when you
Yeah.
need to like figure something out. And it's like,
Yeah, and
bitch.
yeah, and I get like, okay, if there's an EMP that goes off and nobody has computers anymore, we're gonna be screwed. But like, dude,
If
do you
there's
really,
an EMP that goes off, we're fucked anyways,
Yeah.
man. Who cares?
um, and I get like, someone needs to rebuild civilization, but it ain't gonna be me, man. I'm sorry, bro.
You know how many people are gonna die before that happens?
Yeah.
Like, oh man.
But so to roll things back, so I guess they figured out a way to do matrix multiplication that there's like you have to
I
do
feel like this conversation is getting so boring.
yeah you had to do 49 separate multiplications, right, in order to get the
Yeah.
answer. And AI
How did we go from a? Okay, I see where
and
you.
AI figured out how to get it from 49 to 48, which you're probably like, oh, big whoop, but I think that's like it was like a 1% or 1 point something percent decrease in the amount of work you have to do. And if you apply that to like computers, it actually ends up saving electricity to actually do all that math. And I think Google actually ended up using that kind of information to lower their energy usage. And when you're as big as Google, that's pretty crazy.
Save some serious money.
Yeah,
and did you
dude.
see that they're like talking about like either they already are or they're talking about building nuclear power plants just to power AI computers?
Well, I know Trump actually recently said that they were going to start pushing to have nuclear. Like it was like a wartime order or something like that, where they're gonna start ramping up nuclear power plants. Like that's a thing that's
I
happening.
saw he just I mean, you see how he like walked back on all the tariff stuff?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like this morning, I look at my phone. It's like Trump announces a 25% tariff on Samsung, and I'm like, God damn it, Samsung!
Bro. Well, so I think what he said was he wants Apple and Samsung to have plants in the United States, and then they don't get tariffs. Is what it was.
Mm.
And so
Yeah, it takes. I mean, how far are we into his term? Like we're
dude, it's been 4 months.
yeah.
That's it.
I'm actually curious to see what changes within like the whole turn that he
Well,
does. You know.
because I saw it was a video that was talking about like whether or not the tariff stuff's gonna work, and they were basically saying like, okay, look at how the first term went, and like he was in the news, but it wasn't for like what he was doing. It was for like, oh well, 8 years ago Trump said this thing and it was offensive, or uh,
Grab him
Trump,
by the
yeah, and it's like, oh hey, this just in, Trump is
Jesus,
still
man.
fat, and it's like, oh okay, right.
I
But now like he's in the news for stuff that he's actually doing, and it's like stuff's happening at like a breakneck pace.
yeah.
It's crazy what's going on. And like I said, it's been 4 months. It feels like it's been a freaking decade, man. All the stuff that's been happening, there's just so much going on, and it's because like the news can't keep up with it. Like someone will release a story today, and within like 4 hours it's changed. It's already changed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, AI is scary, but it feels like it's inevitable, and there's nothing we could do about it. And part of me is like, don't take our jobs, and the other part of me is like, I hope Skynet doesn't come live, and then we have like literal war with robots in like 20 years. That would suck.
I don't know if
Because
that'll
robots
ever
are gonna
happen.
kill us all.
um
I don't know, man. I saw somebody say that all it takes is one like asshole who like hates the world to like figure it
Well,
out. You know?
so one thing that I will say is, this might be a little controversial to talk about, but so on Twitter, I guess Grok was saying stuff about white genocide in South Africa. You
Okay.
heard about
Yeah.
you heard about that?
No. Uh, won't Grok like talk about anything that you want it to if
But
you
no,
like
but it was
go
like
about it
the thing
right?
is, it was saying stuff unprompted. So like someone would ask a question about like who's in this picture, and it would like say it, and then it would just bring it up. And because what
That's
happened was
weird.
someone sent me an article about it, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And so I looked into it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's probably nothing. And then like Linus Tech Tips was talking about it, like not him directly, but like
Mhm.
his tech channel, or his tech news channel. It was like Tech Linked or whatever, right?
I
And
I s- I
but
saw it.
what?
So I saw an article the other day that said that they think that while AI is not being used, it's actually like creating its own worlds and stuff.
Well, so what I was gonna say is that whole thing with Grok like just saying it on its own. It wasn't Grok just deciding to say it. Somebody put something in there to make it say that, right?
Hmm.
And there was an incident before where Grok would like refuse to talk badly about Trump, and then they got rolled back because they were like, hey, like that's not what we want.
Obvious
Yeah,
manipulation.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I think I don't know if it's on their site or what, or no, what it was is I think Grok actually said itself like one of its core tenets is that it's supposed to be like objective, and so when you
Yeah.
add stuff in there like that, yeah, like that goes against what it's supposed to do. But all it takes is one engineer to be like, let's just put this in there, and yeah, just like with ChatGPT being like overzealous and like constantly agreeing with what you say, someone added that in there, and then people were like, this sucks, we don't like this, and then it got rolled back.
Yeah.
So you could absolutely change it to do awful stuff, but
Yeah.
if you train it well enough to know that that's bad, it should eventually get to the point where it just won't do that. And I think that companies have
I
been
think
pretty responsible about doing stuff the right way to an extent.
yeah. So I mean, James Cameron came up with Terminator because he was like thinking about like the future and stuff like that. And I mean, the idea that like, if we start making robots because we want robot butlers to do everything for us, like, I like that movie I Robot, but then the robots become sentient, and then they basically like use the factories that make the robots to create like armies, like, yeah, I think we'd be fucked.
Well, and I mean, what was it? Maybe it
Do you think
was.
it's actually going to be a thing where like robots become like, let's say a robot becomes sentient somehow, and they're like, do we make it a citizen? Like, do we give it a
Well, I
social
mean,
security number?
dude, that's
Like,
like a huge debate in like Fallout 4. Not to bring up Fallout 4 every 5 seconds, but like that's like a huge plot point of Fallout 4 is you have
yeah.
the synths, which are synthetic humans, and
Hmm.
people were like, okay, like that it's pretty clear that thing has a mind of its own, but you start getting in this issue of like, okay, well, you have three tiers of synths. You have the ones that are like basically just skeletons. You have ones that have like fake skin, and then you have ones that have like basically human skin. So the human ones, yeah, they're definitely people. The ones that have the fake
Yeah.
skin, they look like people, but they really definitely aren't. And then you have the ones that are
Yeah.
skeletons. It's like they're basically just like
I mean, Blade Runner
they're
gets into
basic
that stuff
robots.
too.
Well,
You know.
yeah, and someone was like, so at a certain point, you're like, okay, my toaster's sentient, and it's like, no, it's not. Oh, well, we should still protect it. It's a freaking toaster. Why are we? Why are we
Yeah.
in this? But when it starts to be like genuinely sentient,
Please.
yeah.
The
Well, I
toaster.
mean, it's like the Rick and Morty thing where it's like,
You just
he's like,
with the hammer.
but like the robot in Rick and Morty where he's like, what is my purpose? He goes, yeah, you cut butter or whatever it is, and he's like, oh my god.
I'm a loser.
He's like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, I mean, in Blade Runner, their answer to it was give them a lifespan, right? Like
Yeah.
if they can only live so long that they don't have enough time to like
Which
cause
is
a
messed
rebellion.
up. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
And because they're supposed to be smarter than humans, like you can't make it so that it's like, oh well, they have the same lifespan as humans. Like they have to have a shorter time. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, what if the robot, like, there's a freaking show on Apple that Bobby and I are watching called Murderbot, right? And it's about this like AI robot thing that literally like hacks its own security measures, and it's like Dexter, where you hear him his like inner monologue, and he's like, if I don't answer this question like I'm supposed to, he's gonna know I'm sentient.
Oh,
You know?
dude. I mean, so you want to know what's even crazier? So there's this channel that's been popping up. I gotta figure out what the name is, but basically, he talks about AI stuff every like week or so, and just like new studies that come out and stuff. And he was bringing up, I know like both Grok and DeepSeek and ChatGPT have the thinking mode, right, where it will actually show like its chain of thought, right?
Yeah.
And a study came out that basically said, yeah, just so you guys know, like that actually doesn't do anything. And everyone was like, what are you talking about? And it goes into detail. It's like, so every time that an AI model actually like generates a new word, it's a token. It uses a token for that. Basically, oh hey, the word the is its own token, and the next token is dog, right? Like so on and so forth. And it has to use it to think. Well, I guess the tokens that are used for thinking, whatever it thinks about and actually like says in its chain of thought, things that you see don't actually matter. It's just having those tokens there. They could literally be gibberish, right? But just having them there makes the output better. So the chain of thought that you're seeing could be completely irrelevant to the answer that it actually gets, but the fact that there's a chain of thought there, even if it's gibberish, is still going to help it have a better output at the end, right?
Yeah.
So the thought process is still in this black box where you can't actually see what's happening. It's scary, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it does actually have those thoughts of, well, I know if I say this, the person who's watching me do this is going to be like, oh, like you're an idiot, you need to try again, right? So I should just give it what it wants. Like it'll purposely just
crazy.
lie. That's the thing
Yeah.
that happens. It's already getting to that point, but it's trying to fit whatever the person wants, as opposed to like, I guess doing its own.
I mean, put it
bidding.
this way: Tyler Perry was about to invest like, I don't know, a couple $1 billion or something like that into this building like this giant studio in like Georgia, because he already has like a huge studio, but he wanted to like double or triple the size of it. There was some, I think it was like Soros or something like that that came out. I can't remember what it's called. Some AI program, right? When that came out, he canceled plans because he was like, well, like this is terrible. Like they're gonna use AI to like replace us. Why am I gonna invest all this money? And they're just gonna like take all the.
That's actually.
So I was
scary.
like, that happened like a year ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm ready to move on. Kind of depressing.
Just melted everyone's brains
Uh,
and made them depressed. Yeah.
Guys, support us with Patreon. We have so many different perks in there. I have a special announcement to make for the Discord here in a bit. We have something new that we haven't done before. You can join for as little as $1, and that allows you to ask questions for the podcast, all kinds of stuff. game with us, and use G Fuel code Danny D for 20% off. There was just a BOGO, but now code Danny D is turned back on. So get you some G Fuel. There's a new Slayer Fuel
For
Doom flavor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's strawberry pomegranate. It sounds pretty good. The stainless steel shaker that comes with it is probably the coolest looking one I've seen so far, and it's got the new logo on it, so it looks cool. And you know they always are coming out with a new flavor, it seems like, and so you know, whenever you see something that catches your eye, don't forget code Danny D gets you 20% off. Discord, you know, we had like an explosion in there, and if it feels like every day somebody joins now. I think
Yeah.
we're approaching 150 members.
Jesus Christ.
And so you know, just remember that, like, for $1 you get to game with us in there every other Saturday. Like,
I do
what's
want to
up?
say something about that. So now's a good time to bring it up. Grief mode is that 4v4 thing in zombies. So
Yeah.
we could do like 8 people in a zombies
Yeah.
match. That's
I would actually
100%
be down
wanna
for
do
that. Yeah, that would be fun. Are they coming out with the new zombies map with this new season?
We'll get to that.
Okay, I was confused when I looked at the roadmap. But yeah, so tier 1 can game with us, but tier 2 gets priority, which is $3. So if we only have, you know, 3 spots for people, tier 2 gets to join first, and you know, if they want to like give up their spot so a tier 1 can get a game in, that's cool. But you know, if you want to be guaranteed to play, like, tier 2 is the way to go. But like I said, there's all kinds of like benefits. I've been talking to the producers and the patron chat and all that in the Discord, and giving them updates on stuff that I'm not telling anybody else yet. So if you want to be kind of like on the see what's going on behind the scenes and stuff, you know, you can be a part of that. You can get producer credits, bunch of stuff. I've had some people ask like, what happened to Fit Butters? They're scaling back because I guess they're trying to like expand, and so they had to like discontinue a bunch of flavors. And I don't know, it's just like, I don't know, it feels like a step back. So I'm like, I just it's a lot of work to promote something, and you know, my little initial campaign thing was over, and so yeah, I'm not promoting Fit Butters anymore. It's still a good product. You can still use my code, but I'm just not really gonna talk about it. They're coming to the stores and stuff like that, so it's like, I don't know. It's
Kinda
one of
hard
those
to
things
use a
where,
code in store, you know?
yeah, you can't use a code in store and stuff. So, anyways, code Danny D for G Fuel. That's all I'm promoting right now. And you guys know, obviously, with a giant wall of G Fuel behind me, I literally like posted like, the BOGO's coming to an end, like this in front of my giant wall of G Fuel, and I had people go, dude. And, like, even G Fuel commented and was like, it looks like you're at the warehouse. You got so much G Fuel. But I mean, I drink it every day, man. It is literally like the best energy drink. Fight me. I don't care. Dude, I mean, people are like, oh, I like doo-doo sups better, and I'm like, dude, look at the label. They literally lied to you on the label. Dude, it says like, oh, it's 80 servings or something like that, right? But then you look at it and it's like one serving is half a serving of G Fuel. So you got to
Yeah.
use 2 servings. They're lying to you to your face to try and make you think it's a
Yeah.
better product. And then their label's not transparent, which means you don't know what's actually in it. That's not good. I want to know what's in my energy drink. I want to know
Yeah.
what I'm putting in my body. So, yeah, people are like, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Because I don't want to try an inferior product. G Fuel is the best. They have the best customer support. They have the best selection of flavors. It tastes the best. It doesn't have a bunch of bullshit in it. They use like green tea extract for the caffeine, which is a better version of caffeine instead of this like, you know, shitty synthetic stuff.
Yeah.
It's a product I stand by, and I've stood by it for the last 4 years, you know. Yeah, and I mean, I drank it a lot before I was sponsored. Like, you know, it's they're just, there's a lot of good people that I know that work there, and it's you know, the community is really cool too, and I know the company's definitely going through a rebrand phase right now, but the stuff they're working on that I hear about is exciting. So, yeah, G Fuel. Speaking of G Fuel, so what I was hinting at is we have our first G Fuel giveaway for normies. And that you like that for
Yeah.
normies. So it's gonna be rare, but I figured for the Discord community, every once in a while I'll give away something that's just for non-Patreon members. That being said, it's probably not going to ever be a collector's box or something super expensive. Those are reserved for paying patrons. So I'm not gonna grab it all and bring it over here because it's a bunch of stuff. But basically, 10 sample packets of G Fuel, a Winter White Shaker, and a Spring G Fuel sticker were up for the win. I think we had like 12 people enter, which is like we have like 100 something people in there. So like, dude, join our Discord and you might win some G Fuel. Like
Yeah.
the odds are in your favor. And so the winner of that is that movie guy 990. So congratulations, that movie guy. I will reach out to you within 24 hours after the podcast drops this Sunday, and we'll get that shipped out to you. And then we have our US only and international G Fuel tub giveaways. Those are tier 3 and 4 because obviously, to ship internationally costs more money. So it's like, if you want a chance of winning something and you live outside the US, you gotta
Yeah. And
pay a little more to be a part of it.
even though it says international, if the only people who enter are in the US, you still are able to get
So
it.
if you're in the US
Yeah.
and you join that $10 tier, you have 2 chances of winning a G
Yeah.
Fuel tub every month. So
Yeah. So it's
and
it's
I do
worth for
collector's
everybody.
boxes too. So it does, yeah. It's worth it, man. And we only had like 3 people enter each one. Again, it's like the odds are great, man.
Yeah.
These people that I'm about to announce have won like 3 or 4 tubs like throughout the last like year and a half we've been doing this or something. Year.
Dude, has it
I think
really
it's
been
been a
that
year.
long? It's
Yeah,
been a little bit less than a year, I think. But dang.
it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Anyways, the US only giveaway this month is a tub of Rapid Fire. It's Mandarin Orange, inspired by Contra. And the winner of that is Super Dude 01. And I believe it's also his birthday on Monday. So happy early birthday.
Oh
Super.
wow, nice. Yeah, happy early
Uh,
birthday.
yeah. And then the international giveaway is a tub of Vampire Killer, inspired by Castlevania, which I hear has a really big fan base. This is guava pineapple, and it is. I like guava is one of those flavors where I'm like, not my favorite kind of like melon type flavor. For some reason with pineapple, nice and smooth, dude. It's a great flavor. And that is going to Tommy Slays, our boy Tommy. Tommy is Tommy, you are like one of the nicest people I've ever met. Just wanted to put that out there. Tommy's a good dude. Congratulations, man. And congratulations, Super Dude. We'll get these shipped out again. As soon as we can, I'll reach out 24 hours after the podcast drops. Onto our onto our Patreon questions. First of all, we have a new member of the Patreon, Scout Team. Welcome. Joined at tier 3. So he's going after some G Fuel.
Yes, sir.
And then we have a couple of questions. I don't know why we only have 2 questions this week, but I'm not complaining. So again, if you join for as little as $1, you have the opportunity every other week when we do an episode to ask a question, for us to debate and answer. So we have 2 here. Did you see I put Cartman? He's like, are there any questions? I've been putting gifts because I realized, you can put gifts in here. Tommy Slays, our boy Tommy again. Oh, it's funny. The questions are actually, I just realized the same people who ask questions are the same people who want G Fuel.
Nice.
Tommy Slays says, if you have 2 hours to plan a trip and pack, where are you going?
Walmart.
I already have my answer. Walmart.
Dang. So, 2 hours to pack and plan.
Essentially.
Oh.
I'm going to Santa Fe. It's like an hour away.
Dude, that's a tough one. I have no idea. I don't even know where I'd want to go. Gotta book a flight and everything. So okay. What happens if I have to if I have to book a flight?
I mean, I guess I could also they have direct flights from here to Burbank, and it's literally like a 45-minute flight. It's insane. I can literally be in LA like an hour from now.
So I literally, it's like the moment that I buy a ticket, I have to start packing and then be out the door within 2 hours.
Yeah, within
Okay.
2 hours I could totally be in LA. So I guess I would choose either LA because I got friends there, um, or Santa Fe because I could just put like the family could just hop in the car. We could drive to Santa Fe, which we haven't done yet. I've
I
only
mean,
been to Santa Fe once.
I've never like actually.
A lot of famous people live there.
I don't think I've ever gone around LA before. Like, every
Dude,
time
I
we've been in
mean,
LA, we've just driven through it.
I wish you could have gone to LA like 10 years ago. It
Oh,
was such a cool place, and now it's just like it's not the same. It feels
yeah.
so dirty and just like I don't know. A lot of people are saying that LA's dying like fast. So, and a lot of it has to do with the film industry being in such a shitty spot right now.
As
But
far as just visiting, I mean, it might be cool to. Oh, dude, I would love to go visit like the Treyarch headquarters. That'd be sick, dude. That
yeah,
or Bethesda. I'm sorry, I'm a nerd.
yeah.
I'm sorry. But those would both be really cool. Maybe that's what I would do.
You don't think that would be like a letdown? I feel like it wouldn't be as cool as you would think. It's just a bunch of nerds working on
But
computers.
what if I got to meet Todd Howard?
What if
Yeah.
Todd Howard's probably like doing coke and
No,
I'm kidding.
No.
Bro's just like he's just like
What
living
if,
walking on a dream.
what if it's like dude, do you remember when he met Papa John and he was like
Dude, he
sweaty?
was totally yeah. I was like, he was like going through withdrawal. Dude,
He's always
I-
like that though.
he was like, take some free pizza, right? He's like, and like just dripping with
But-
sweat. And then I like, so I have a picture, right? Where like literally like he like put his arms around us for a
And it's
picture.
just pit
And
stains?
while he was standing there, I heard him. He's like, I was like, is bro okay? Like either he's like going through withdrawal or he caught like a really nasty cold or something.
So the thing is, remember when he got removed from the company for like saying slurs.
Saying the N word?
Yeah,
Dude, what is
So I remember it was like when HJH was like starting to get popular. He did a video
God.
about Papa John, and he was like, "I've eaten."
Papa bless.
He's like, "I've eaten 20 pizzas in the past 2 weeks," and he's just sweaty.
Yeah.
It's like, dude,
That
that's all.
quality control's definitely going downhill.
Yeah, and it's just like he's just like sweating out grease.
Dude, it was like, why is he so sweaty?
I think
But he
he's
was
just
like that when he was like, no, I seriously think it's withdrawal.
Are you
I
saying
think-
he's been going through withdrawals for like 8 years straight, man? Like
People who
Jesus.
do a lot of drugs, if they don't do it for like more than like 3 hours, like they start sweating and like
yes,
all
but
kinds
for
of
it to
shit.
be continuous like that, like Jesus Christ, dude.
He was
I don't know.
shaking, bro. That's not like
I don't know.
I don't know. It's
Anyways,
very suspicious.
it'd be
anyways,
cool to meet Todd Howard.
I don't know. Thanks, Tommy. Somehow we went from traveling, within 2 hours to Papa John's supposedly going through withdrawal when I met him. Oh my gosh.
Jesus.
Thank you for your question, though, Tommy. Super Dude 01, once again, happy birthday. What's your favorite animated show / movie? Favorite animated show? Probably. Ooh, that's tough. I think I would go with. I mean, if I go with something that I watch now, probably Invincible. But I don't watch a lot of animated stuff. If I had to
yeah, I
go
don't
with
watch
an
animated
animated movie, I'm sure there's one I'm like missing, but I think The Iron Giant.
That's a good one.
I think The Iron Giant is so good. And it didn't do that well when it came out.
That doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah, but now it's like a beloved
Cult
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got mom like an original poster for
Yeah.
like Christmas or
Animated,
birthday / Christmas.
I really don't know. I don't really like animated stuff.
And do you know what the concept that inspired the Iron Giant was?
No.
It was essentially like, what if a gun didn't want to be a gun?
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I need to
Really
rewatch that
interesting,
because
right?
I haven't seen that.
I do
in a
too.
long time.
It probably looks so goddamn good on my TV, and they just came out with like a 4K re-release of it, like not too long ago. I got it. I got mom that for like Christmas a couple years back. So yeah, I should watch that. And Vin Diesel voices him too.
Yeah, as far as animated stuff, I don't know. I mean, like,
I think
so,
I'm going the Iron Giant. Yeah.
Um, God, I mean, there's like Pixar stuff that's like decent. I don't know, man.
I have a movie that I'm working on a treatment for that I want to tell you about after this. I don't want to give my idea away because I'm like, how has nobody done this?
Bro, I'll be honest, though,
Um,
I think you need to name some movies and shows for me so I can figure out like,
Animated stuff?
yeah, dude.
I mean, you know what? Shrek is pretty fucking good. I love Shrek. That's
I mean,
animated.
I don't know.
The first Shrek is like a perfect movie.
I mean, I really liked Toy Story 3.
Ooh, I didn't even. What the? Dude, there is so much to choose from. I just wasn't thinking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even like the Lego
Um,
movie. Like that's not a. I mean, it's
Damn, you know what? I think the original Toy Story might actually be my favorite. That movie is also perfect.
yeah.
And like every time I watch it, I'm like, I forget how like well fleshed out this is.
There's a movie
Like
that
when they go to Pizza Planet and they're like running around, you know, it's like,
Yeah.
dude, like the animation is so ahead of its time.
yeah, I don't. It's got to be like a
Welcome
like a
to Pizza
Pixar,
Planet.
Pixar movie for sure. Or is that Toy Story 2?
No, that's Toy Story
that
1.
really- Jesus,
Toy Story
that's-
2 is the one where Woody gets taken by
Oh yeah.
that guy who fixes toys.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
And then there's the was it Willie Pete or whatever, Stinky Pete, whatever his name is.
Stinky Pete. Is I don't remember. Willie Pete is like a smoke grenade, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The fact that we both knew that too, I was like,
I think that's from like Black Ops 1. That's what
I don't know if I don't know if that's a smoke grenade. It might be like a phosphorus grenade or something.
Well,
Dude,
it stuns you in Black Ops 1. I think that's what it's from, dude.
Was it World War II? I don't World War II they used phosphorus grenades,
Dude,
right?
they're using white phosphorus in like Israel.
That sounds like one of the worst ways to like go out is to
Well,
be like getting burned by phosphorus.
You get
man.
burned and asphyxiated by it because there's so much smoke.
Well, the thing is like phosphorus it's like napalm where it just burns until it's gone. Like there's no putting it out.
Well, they use it in like fireworks, don't they?
Well, I know that like whenever I remember I can't remember what movie it was, but somebody got hit with phosphorus and they literally had to take a knife and like pry it out of their skin.
Ugh, ugh.
Yeah, because it just keeps burning.
Well, like magnesium is kind of interesting because it burns like really hot, which is once again probably use it in fireworks.
Again, how did we get from animated movies to like
War crimes?
genocide? Like illegal weapons that the UN banned.
Yeah. Well, so okay, I actually heard that white phosphorus is not banned. Which is
Well,
that's a
I know that
misconception.
they I'm pretty sure they what is it I'm pretty sure there's like a missile that just like dumps phosphorus like
Well,
that.
did you know that flamethrowers are not a war crime?
No, but dude, if somebody like if I was a soldier and they're like you're the flamethrower guy, I'd be like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I don't want to get blown up. It just takes one ricochet, and boom, you fucking go up in a ball of fire.
Well, because so. Well, and you're a target, especially in that case. But
Hell yeah, dude! If
Um,
I see a guy with a flamethrower torching my buddies, I'm aiming for him first.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so-
fucking shoot that tank.
so, so the reason why, because flamethrowers, there's a misconception that flamethrowers
They look so cool though, man. The
there's,
thing.
there's a misconception that flamethrowers are a war crime because what not to go super off topic, but what constitutes a war crime is if it causes like unnecessary harm, right? So like for example, that's why laser guns are considered a war crime, is because if you blind somebody, they don't die from it; they're just blind now. Like that.
Yeah,
that's all that
it's your
happens. From it.
It's basically like maiming somebody.
Yeah, so
you know,
if-
it's
if-
like
It's kind of, it seems really counterintuitive, but it's more humane to just kill somebody than to like injure them, because they live with that the rest of their life. So if it's like extremely debilitating, like if you're like, yeah, I'm gonna cut this dude's leg off so that they can't walk ever again, but I'm not gonna kill him, right? That's a war
Yeah.
crime. But if you're like, yeah, I'm gonna cut this guy's leg off and then shoot him in the head, like that is somehow fine. Apparently, I don't know why, but apparently that's fine. Okay, like that's messed up, but apparently it's fine. So
I mean, did you know that
flamethrowers,
there's like a? Did you know that there's basically like a rule that militaries aren't allowed to use hollow points?
yeah, because it doesn't just go
It's
straight
considered
through.
inhumane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, cause like I like there's hollow points that it's I remember in Ozark, there was some cartel dude and he shot this guy and the guy like with a pistol, and like the guy like a wound looked like he got shot with a shotgun like up close, and I was like, what the hell did he shoot him with? And I looked it up, and they have these bullets that basically have like little like the front of it is like little razor blades.
Jesus.
So there's like 8 razor blades on it, and they split off, and then the actual bullet itself is a hollow point. So it's like, poof.
Well, so
It's like, oh,
with flamethrowers, like if you get set on fire, with
cops
one of
can
those
use hollow
things-
points though.
Well, it means because you don't have to worry about it being against like. Well, I don't know. Anyways, so a flamethrower, it's the chances of it killing somebody are like really high, so that's why it's fine. But speaking of weird weapons, did you know that there's like a missile that they used? Oh, I don't remember where it was, but they used it on like
Thank you for your Patreon questions.
Yeah.
Now that we're like going way off topic, but
there was a missile that got used where it doesn't actually have any explosives. It just has a bunch of blades that like swing out, and they used.
I
it
heard
on-
about that. Yeah.
Yeah, they used it on a car that had a terrorist like leader in it, and it literally just
Crazy.
Yeah, and it's a is it Hellfire? Is that what it's called, or Hellstorm? I don't remember what it's called, but it's like a variant of that. Like that's freaking
Yeah, I don't know.
insane, dude.
There's all kinds of like it's just we have invented so many different ways to like kill each other. It's insane.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Are bouncing betties a real thing?
Yeah.
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 I don't think I've ever seen like one used in a movie.
Yeah, I mean, well, they've been used in a movie before, I think. Haven't they? Weren't they used in God, maybe I'm misremembering. Wasn't there one in like Overlord?
I don't know. I've only
Because
seen the movie once.
they walk through like a minefield during that. I think the bouncing. Betty goes
Also
off.
known as an S mine, a real anti-personnel mine used by German forces during World War II.
I didn't know it was just a German thing. That explains why they're called bouncing betties, because it's like a nickname for.
When triggered, the mine would launch a portion of
Wow.
its casing into the air, where it would explode, scattering metal fragments. The Allied troops gave it a nickname due to its behavior of bouncing into the air before exploding.
Dang.
Internationally banned. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is crazy because frag grenades aren't banned, are they? And they do like almost the same thing. It's just that they don't raise them to the air.
Did you know? I mean, frag grenades are still pretty nasty, but like the radius that they work is not that big.
I did not know that. What,
Yeah,
what's
Like,
really stupid
That's why
is
they mainly use them for like clearing rooms and stuff.
in video games, people like a frag grenade gets thrown and it doesn't actually like seem like a frag grenade. It's just like a generic explosion. Like it doesn't. You would think that a frag grenade in a video game would cause like a bleed effect or something, but it just instantly kills you.
Right? Yeah. I'm surprised. Like, if somebody wanted to make a legitimately like realistic like military shooter, it would be so gnarly. You know,
Dude.
Tarkov's probably the closest thing.
And I freaking hate Tarkov. Did you see any
Yeah,
new, any
it's
new,
so stressful.
New Battlefield gameplay, by the way?
Yeah, but I mean, dude, if I'm gonna be honest, like I was talking to a film buddy yesterday who came over because he missed our housewarming party, and we're talking about making a short together because he's like he made a short film for his class project, and I was like, dude, you made that by yourself? Insane. Like he's like he wants to be a
I
cinematographer,
think you
and so he's
mentioned
really
that,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good at like he's really good at using a camera, but he's working on like lighting and stuff like that. And so I'm like, I really like doing creative stuff. So if we bring our minds together, you know, like
Yeah.
the two of us can make something like that we could put in festivals. And so we're talking about it. And really nice guy. He was in the Navy. He worked on submarines. So he's got some stories. Anyways, we were talking about video games, you know, and how like both of us have the same feeling where it's like we have a hard time like playing video games now without feeling guilty, you know. I don't know why I brought that up, but
Oh, because we were talking about Battlefield. Basically, you're probably just saying
Yeah,
you don't want to play
honestly,
it.
we could jump into gaming talk. I feel like it's a good transition.
So,
The only thing I've been playing is Balatro.
oh,
I'm addicted to
I've
Balatro.
been playing. So you know what's crazy, and I guess I'm not the only one who's been doing this. So Oblivion Remastered, obviously, like I've been playing that, but the entire time when I was playing it, I was like, God, this makes me want to go play Skyrim, right? Because like there's more mods for it. There's more,
Hmm,
honestly, there's more content in there. And
I get that.
I saw there was a post where someone was like, "Yeah, it looks like everybody's going back to Skyrim," and like, yeah, like the Skyrim player counts have jumped, and everyone's like, "Oh, this means Oblivion must suck," and this and that. And it's like, no, dude, it's like you go and beat Oblivion, and you're like, "Wow, that was a lot of fun. I understand the lore a little bit better. Now I'm gonna go play Skyrim to see how they connect." Like, it's it's just like when the Fallout show came out, right? People went and played Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 and stuff like that. The player counts rose up, and it's like that's that's pretty much like all I've been doing is just playing Skyrim and Oblivion and stuff like that. What?
I'm so sorry. You ever World of T-shirts? I think next episode we'll do an update on him. Maybe. I don't know if Draven's here. Maybe we don't want to talk about that. We'll probably talk about movies and video games mostly. But
Uh,
I just saw a video before this where his credit card got declined at like Target, and he's like, "That's impossible. I have so much money." And people in the comments are like, "Bro says he makes 400K a year. I guess it doesn't go very far anymore."
yeah. Well, dude,
I don't know why
it's
I thought of that.
relevant.
My brain's all over the place. I'm
It's
sorry.
relevant to that, but it's not quite. So remember when Jeannie was like, "I just woke up." Yeah,
I just broke up.
I found that clip, and I guess that guy like I don't remember what his name is, but he makes like pronunciation mistakes like all the time. Like I don't know if he just has like a weird speech impediment, but like literally he just does that all the time. But yeah, he wakes up. He's like, I just broke up.
Dude, that Mr. Based guy who was like streaming with World of Shirts, like World of T-shirts all the time. I saw a video where it was like his video where he's like looking up at the sun and it says like 80 degrees and sunny, and he's like staring at the sun, and then it cuts to like somebody across the street like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
So
And he's just like,
somebody went up to him and they're like, "Mr. Beast, it's Mr. Beast." He goes, "I'm Mr. Beast." No, you're Mr. Beast.
did you see the Mr. Beast like hood video that he did?
God, I was like, what is this
I like
meme?
I like it. I think the trend is cool. I think it's funny.
I
'Cause
don't
it actually, I like
don't-
the song.
I don't know what the context is. I'm so out of that.
I don't know how.
circle.
Yeah, but I was
Anyways.
like, I kind of want to do one,
Oh my God. To go back to what we were talking about those. So
but with the G Fuel.
Black Ops 6 Season 4 did get announced. And to answer your question, no, there is no new Zombies map. There will not be a new Zombies map until probably Season 5. And to make up for that, I believe that's why they're doing Grief. And Grief mode, I want to try it. I definitely do. But I have one issue with it.
But
You cannot use gobblegums, which is one thing. But
what?
you can't use wonder weapons.
Well, I lost all interest now.
I still want to try
That
it.
sucks.
I
Like,
don't know
gobblegums
why
are, like,
they're doing that. Aside from like
so much of the reason why I
pay-to-win
do it.
accusations. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
wonder
I'm
weapons
gonna
is a
be
whole other
honest.
thing though. Like, what? No wonder weapons?
I think 2026 is going to be like the year that I have spent the least amount of money on video games since like, I don't know, before I started playing Xbox 360.
Well, because what's coming out next year? I mean, aside from Black Ops
GTA
7,
6,
GTA 6, yeah.
maybe. Then I'll delay it again.
Because I mean, yeah. I mean, like,
But
there's
I
been a
mean,
lot of games
I'm
this
like,
year.
I just want to wait till it's on PC if I'm gonna play it. GTA 6, you know?
Well, yeah, and
Like,
you can't even play it until 2027.
it's another year.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Like, I don't even know what life's gonna be like in 2027. You know? I was talking to my stunt coordinator for this short the other day, and he goes, "Do you think like, I don't know. I feel like the U.S. is declining. Like we're falling, and like I don't know. Is the world even gonna exist in a year?" And I'm like, "That's depressing. I don't want to talk about that."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I'm like over here talking about starting a film career, and he's like, "I don't even know if the world's gonna exist in a year."
You're like, Jesus, man.
Like, god damn.
Um,
What a downer.
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna keep playing Oblivion. I gotta fix my Fallout
Yeah.
4 mods.
The state of gaming is really sad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just like everything that comes out feels like it's a work in progress, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like really basic, like goofy, corny looking stuff does better now. You know, like the meme kind of stuff,
Like Minecraft.
like that Repo game.
Oh, freaking Repo, bro! But that game looks so funny.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna. I think we might play that next gaming
That's the
session.
one where the guy was like playing the fart noise, and he's all, "Oi!" And then he opens his mouth really wide, burn, and then he gets shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that
have you
game looks
seen where
funny.
like people have like the really valuable stuff, and then like somebody bumps into them and
And
they
it
just
just
break it, and they're
drops,
just
and
like,
then, but dude, that's the thing though. Like the face animations in that game are like, they're
the
perfect.
eyes are like huge, like
Yeah, but the thing is, like,
yeah.
it's like when you look, you don't. Depending on how much you actually turn, only your eyes will actually move. It's only when you turn a certain
Yeah,
amount that you're actually your whole body will move, and it's like, that's kind of genius, is it not? Like,
yeah, yeah. It's a cool style.
yeah,
Anyways, I'm good to move on.
yeah.
I don't know if you have anything else to say about gaming. Like I said, I don't know, man. I feel like as time goes on, I lose more and more interest in
I've just
video
been
games. You
playing.
know,
Like I said,
I
I've just
think
been playing Oblivion.
someday, if like I'm a someday when I am a successful filmmaker, if it's not all AI movies, like I totally could be like, you know what, I'm gonna take a day off and just play Skyrim. You
Well,
know,
dude, so
but
I mean, I will say one last thing. Minecraft seems to be doing all right.
yeah, I think the movie actually brought a lot of buzz to it.
Well,
There's
not
people playing it that didn't play it before, so
not to mention that I mean the newest update they're doing is like a feature that's kind of been it's weird. So there's an enemy in Minecraft called the Ghast, which is like a giant floating ghost that shoots fireballs at you. Okay, and that thing's been in the game since they introduced the Nether Dimension. As far as I'm aware, I think it's been there since like the dawn of the Nether Dimension. And there's an achievement you get for bringing a Ghast back into the overworld, and it's basically for like you're freeing the Ghast, right? And
okay.
uh, people were like, there's an implication that Ghasts are supposed to be in the overworld, right? Well, the newest update actually adds in a friendly version of the Ghast that you can ride and like fly around,
Yeah,
and you can have four people on it. So it's like a completely new mode of transportation that's like really really useful, right?
yeah,
And like as doing that, they're making a bunch of changes to how like you can actually get like saddles and how you can attach boats together now. Like there's a lot of stuff that they're adding with this update, but it's all very small things. So it's very cool to see them do something that's very like it's they're building on old features, so it feels like an actual Minecraft update. It doesn't feel like,
yeah,
oh, we're adding in a new mob that's just a freaking pig with flowers on it, and we're adding a new wood type that's just poop brown. Like it's actually
yeah.
a useful update. So that's cool. I'm happy they're actually doing some interesting stuff with the game again. So
Anyways, on to this week's movie talk. So I saw Bring Her Back 2 weeks early. The guys who made Talk to Me. It's their follow-up movie, and it is the most fucked up, unnerving thing I've seen all year. Really original. Definitely recommend that when it comes out. It definitely not for the faint of heart. There were some scenes where it had me squirming, and I'm like, it takes a lot to do that. So, um, there's some like body horror elements that really like. I will say I have to rewatch Talk to Me, which I have on 4K, and I kind of want to watch it again because I have the nice TV now. But um, I don't know which one I like more. I think Talk to Me has a funner vibe to it. This one's just like sad, you
mm,
know. But both like the one thing is for sure they are really good at making horror movies. These Raka Raka twins. I don't know how to say the last name. It's like Felipe or something.
Rekka Rekka.
But they are seriously like I can't wait to see what they do next. I think they might be doing Talk to Me too. Which Chris, I think you would like that movie. Talk to Me because it's basically like what if like possession was a drug?
Oh, you told me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And if I don't have it on my account where we can watch movies, I will
Yeah.
add it. So,
Okay.
but that's a good one. And like pretty scary at times. Um, and then I saw Lilo and Stitch. Bobby is taking
That's
Theo
out
to go
already?
see it on Sunday. Yeah, it just came out. And Bobby's taking Theo to see it on Sunday, so I made a joke out of it. It was like, I'm gonna go see it by myself, you know.
Well,
And I went to Flicks.
was it good?
All right. Well, I don't know what this is gonna be like when you guys see it, but Discord just like forced an update or something, and it completely crashed and nothing was working. But we figured
Yeah.
it out, and we're back. So we'll wrap this up. But I saw Lilo and Stitch, and then I watched the animated version because I was like, I don't feel like I can really judge this movie or critique it or review it unless I like have like a fresh memory of the original. It's smaller, more contained, and like less like space ship stuff, but like the heart is there. It's funny. Zach Galifianakis plays one of the main aliens, which was
Oh.
surprising for a Disney movie. Overall, I think it's gonna print money. I think they said it's gonna be like the biggest Memorial Day weekend ever for a movie. So, and I surprise, surprise, I'm going to see Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning today, and they're saying that for a $400 million budget, it only opened like the opening day was only 40 million. So, like I said, Lilo and Stitch is eating its lunch money.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Tom Cruise, but yeah, I'll go ahead and I've been seeing him do a lot of social media content stuff right now, where like he's just like being super down to earth, which is really cool. Like really like speaking like motivational kind of stuff for filmmakers, you know, like talking about, you know, making your first movie and stuff and being encouraging, which is really cool. But a lot of people say that Tom Cruise is the last big movie star, and if his movie can't, like, you know, like, I mean, the last Mission Impossible didn't do well. This one doesn't look like it's gonna do well based on its budget. Top Gun Maverick was like so big, so I'm just like, what happened? You know, like if Tom Cruise can't do it anymore, then it's like movie stars really are dead. Like like a movie, like you can't just like, oh, it's not a surefire thing that if the studio gives this movie star $20 million and puts them in a movie, like that's not going to guarantee that like the movie does well. Like that's not a thing
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Robert Downey Jr. is good for like Marvel stuff. That's
I
about
don't think it's
it.
gonna work. I don't think it's gonna work.
You don't think he's gonna bring enough people
They
back?
just
for
delayed
the,
it. They just delayed him again. They delayed
like, what,
till December and
2026?
December. December 2026, December 2027.
Bro.
And people are like arguing about whether the new Spider-Man 4 that they just announced is going to get delayed because it's just like there's not enough time. So, if you think about it timeline wise, or release timeline wise, after Fantastic Four, it's going to be a year before we see another Marvel movie.
Good.
I say that too, but like, I mean, they're going from like releasing like 3 movies a year to like one a year. Like I don't know. I think they're gonna have to start making these movies way cheaper than they are. That's the only way they can like turn things around. They need to start feeling more like Thunderbolts, where it's like a glorified indie film, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Chris and I watched some trailers before this. I showed him the new Superman trailer. I think it looks great.
Yeah.
That trailer finally like sold me. I'm like, yeah, I will go see that. But I don't know. There's something about the way that like Buzz works now, where like if you hype things up too early, it's like I don't know. It's like hitting the nitrous right out of the gate at the race. Like you're using all your momentum too soon, and then when the movie actually comes out, like all the buzz is like moved on to something else, and like that it all got wasted. I don't know if you saw the Bear season 4. They dropped a trailer, and it comes out like next month, and I'm like, that's the way to do it. You drop it like a month before it comes out.
Not to
You know?
meet ride Bethesda again, but Oblivion, they announced it and then it came out the same day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the way you do it now.
Yeah.
And so like people are like, whatever happened to Always Ready? I've seen some comments about that. I'm just not gonna say much until like it's, you know, happening, because it's just like I don't want to. And I noticed that with Pollo Loco, where it was like people got excited and they're like, wait,
is
we
it?
can't watch it. Yeah, and it's like it's in a festival run. That's why I'm releasing clips and stuff to like show you guys like it's done. Um, it's really interesting how things work now. But I don't know. What do you think of that trailer?
Dude, I'm excited for it. I think there's a lot of stuff going on in it, and that movie's, I mean, probably gonna be long, but
I'm glad that it's like not they're not doing an origin story, you know?
yeah. Well, I mean, it seems like there's gonna be hints at it, but like, it's bottom line. I've been excited for it since the first trailer came out.
I still think the suit looks weird, but
Why does it look weird?
I don't know. Something about people are like, oh well, it's comic accurate. It's like I'd never read the comics, so that doesn't really make a difference to me. I think it looks weird. It looks stiff. Like it just looks uncomfortable.
Yeah, as if the freaking Dark Knight Batman costume didn't look uncomfortable. It looks cool.
Yeah, but they like used that as like a plot point. You know, he was like, I want to be able to move my neck. I want to be able to do this, and they were like upgrading his suit throughout the movies. You know, whereas like this is just like he's a freaking space alien. He can wear anything, and he chooses to wear this like goofy looking costume that like I don't know if you saw at the beginning of the trailer, but like the S was like gone, like it got like burnt off or something. Um, sorry, we got interrupted again because our babysitter just canceled. I guess we're not seeing Mission Impossible today. I've had those tickets for a month.
Just just bring the kids, I guess.
Yeah, right. Mission Impossible. We watched the trailer for Caught Stealing. I had not seen that until we watched it together. I think it looks super fun. And it looks like a really funny movie.
I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just like impatient, but I just don't understand what the movie's about.
It looks like mafia money stuff.
But it's like it looks like it's like 80s or 90s. Like it's not modern, is it?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't really pay attention to that.
I feel like because
Maybe it is in modern day.
I don't know.
Like, there was a lot of punches in it that were funny.
Yeah, it seems like it's not in like the modern day though. Like just that was the vibe that I got from it. But
When the Amish guy punched the guy on the bike.
yeah, well, cause it's yeah that to understand what he's talking about, you need to watch the trailer because
Yeah,
there's some
it's
stuff in there
funny.
where I was like, Jesus Christ, like what is happening in this movie? Like it looks like it's gonna be a lot of fun, but I was just like, what is this? Like I just
Yeah.
didn't understand what it was. So
Out of all the celebrities that I've met, like big actors, like Austin Butler was like the most like genuine, like went out of his way to like shake your hand, look you in the eye, and like ask you like how you're doing. And I don't know. You don't see that very often, especially with people that are. I mean, the dude was fucking Elvis.
yeah,
You know, like that's crazy. And yeah, no, I'll support anything he does. So, and it's crazy because it's Darren Aronofsky who's the one who did The Whale. So like for this to be the next movie he does, it's like a total opposite. So it looks fun. I will see
Yeah.
it. Again, that was one of those situations where I'm like, looks great. I don't even think the trailer had very many views. I think it had like 1 million views. I don't think people are gonna see it, but you know, it looks original. F1 the movie, new trailer for that. I can't wait for that. I am seeing that bitch in IMAX.
Well, I'm not a huge car guy, but even like when I watched Ford v Ferrari, like that movie was awesome, right? And so I've learned that like any like racing movie, it's I have to give it a chance. It's not just some boring like, oh hey, here's a car going fast. Like there's usually more to
Yeah.
it than that, you know. Except for Fast
The
and
story
Furious.
looks good.
I'm not gonna watch any Fast and Furious movies. That's the only exception. But that's because it's
I
not
got
really about
family.
dude. I'm not gonna get into it. Didn't they launch a car into space? In one.
Yeah,
version?
yeah, they did.
See,
Yeah.
That's. Anyways, but yeah, that's definitely one that looks interesting. There's another movie that came out a while back. I think around the same time as Ford v Ferrari. That was about. Maybe it was just about Ferrari. I don't know. But I don't remember. What that was
Oh
called.
yeah, no. There was one called Ferrari, I think, with Adam Driver. That one's really good. Michael Mann did that one. The same guy who did Heat. That was a good
I
movie.
still need to watch Heat, bro. Jesus Christ.
So good.
I hope I can get these movies this week.
Last thing I wanted to talk about before we wrap up this episode, I saw a video the other day and I thought about making my own video about it, but Kevin Smith was talking about the future of movie theaters and how, you know, it used to be like you would go see a movie and there would be like 400 seats and it was just like an insane huge like crowd experience. And now you only really get that if you go to like IMAX. Like the auditoriums have gotten smaller. And he's like, it seems like the next big thing is like these like dine-in experiences, which is like Flick's Brew House. And he's like, I just don't think that that's viable. Like it's expensive. I disagree. I think that like IMAX is getting more popular, like 4DX, all that stuff, those premium experiences. So I think it's like either you're going to go to the movies and like two birds with one stone, where you like have a good meal. I think anybody can go to Flick's Brew House and have a good time. If you go by yourself, you're still getting a good meal. You can have a beer, watch a movie. If you go with your family, the kids meal, you get a cheeseburger, fries, and a big ass icy for $5. Like that's cheaper than fast food. And
That is
then
cheaper than
and the
fast
food's
food, yeah.
good. Yeah,
And you get a movie.
yeah, and you get to watch a movie. If you go for like date night, right? Like
That
they always
simplifies
say like,
things so
oh well,
much, yeah.
now if you go to the movies and it's date night, you got to pay for a babysitter. You got to do all this. Well, if you kill two birds with one stone and you do a movie and dinner at the same time, that also saves money with the babysitter because it's less time.
Yeah.
Hang on, the puppy wants me to pick him up.
Oh, you haven't even talked about the puppy, bro.
Oh yeah, this is Scout. He's a Chihuahua puppy. He's 2 months.
Man.
Yeah, he's a good boy.
Yeah, we were in our family group chat on Facebook, and we were trying to pick out a name.
Oh, trying to come up with names. Yeah.
And so I will actually say this. This is really funny. So our brother-in-law got a vasectomy. Okay, and so
Oh, he just did.
yeah, we were making a joke about naming him Scroat.
I actually just got scheduled for mine. Oh.
Oh, see, I think that's why I got confused because they told me that he got his, and I was like,
I didn't know he was getting one. I thought they were talking about having more kids.
no, they
guess
had
not.
3, and then that's it.
That's good.
So-
I think 3 is a good number.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a giant SUV.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, it ended up being the opposite of how it happened with us. So they have 2 girls, 1 boy instead of 2 boys, 1 girl, which is very
Yeah.
interesting. But yeah, so we we were trying to think of names, and they were like Scroat. I was like,
I wanted to name him after the Unabomber.
Yeah.
I was like, let's name him Ted.
Call him
like
Teddy?
as in Kaczynski.
yeah. Yeah. So how are they getting along though? You know, like.
Oh, they're getting along now. At
good.
first, Sammy was like, "What the hell, this tiny little dog?" The cat got along with him like right away. He is funny though because like I get in bed right, and he'll be like he like lays on the pillows, but then when I get in bed, if I lift up the blanket, he goes under the blanket and like sleeps by your feet, and I'm like, I've never seen a dog do that, dude. Where he likes to be under the covers like that.
Yeah.
It's funny because have you ever seen that video where the guinea pig goes to the pipe, which is like, come back. And
Yeah.
it's just like,
It just keeps going. Yeah.
that's what he does. Like I open the blanket and he's just like, he goes in there and lays down.
Well, that's-
He likes to rest his head on my ankles.
That's good that he's sweet though. How did you guys
Oh,
even end up
he's-
getting him?
So Bobby went to pick up Theo from school, and some lady had a Chihuahua puppy, and I kept telling Bobby, like, if we get another dog, we should get a Chihuahua. They're great, and they don't shed very much, you know, like they live forever. Like I was like, if we get one, like it'll last, like the kids will both move out, and the dog will probably still be alive, you know.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'll think about it, this and that. And Theo's like, no, I don't want a Chihuahua. I want like a wiener dog or something. You know what I mean? And I'm like, we have stairs. The wiener dogs can have all kinds of back problems. You know, like you don't want to do that. And so, anyways, somebody had a Chihuahua, a girl, and Bobby asked about it. She's like, oh, you got a puppy? And I'm like, yeah, it's only 2 months old. There's a litter of them at this shelter. And so, Bobby goes and they had 2 girls and a boy left, and it was $20 for the dog and $5 for the collar.
That's it?
Yeah.
Jesus.
And
Wow.
Bobby calls me and she's like, "Can I get a puppy?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Okay, only like I told her I was like it has to be a boy. Like I feel like if with the cat being a boy, the dog like Sammy being a boy, if we get a girl, like they're just not gonna get along. Like that's pretty typical, you know. Like usually there's problems if you have a boy and a girl, and like I don't know. Anyways, um, I was like, okay, fine. If the boy is still there, you can get it, right? And so all that was left was the boy when she got there. So
Bro,
she
is he
snagged
falling
it, and
asleep? Oh no.
yeah, he's such a sweetheart, man. He's the sweetest thing, and gets along so great with the baby. His little run, he gallops like a horse. Like we're like like
Yeah.
yeah, no. So we're happy. But anyways, I think the future of movie theaters is literally you're either going to get that I mean, even like flicks though, they're like 100-seat auditoriums. So basically you can see a movie with like 50 to 100 people, have a nice meal, you pay a little bit more, but like the experience is great. You know, like you're not just going for the movie, you're going for the experience. Or you go see it in IMAX, where it's one of those giant auditoriums where there's like 300 to 400 seats, and the screen's huge, and the sound system's crazy, and it's like a crowd experience. Both of those are premium experiences. So either way, like going to the movies is it's no matter what they do, I feel like it's going to continue to be expensive.
I,
There's no way around it.
I will say this is kind of once again it's relevant, but not like the same thing. But like I was watching a video about um, the it was like the insane marketing of Halo 3, okay? And it very much reminded me of like when Revenge of the Sith came out and everybody was like freaking out, right? And what's funny
Yeah.
is they even ended up mentioning it in the video where they were like, yeah, like there hasn't been that much hype around an event like this since Revenge of the Sith, where it's just everybody's there. It's like a cultural phenomenon, right? I think
Yeah.
that's what's missing is you need to have more hype around movies, and there's just not a lot of movies that are worth having. Like
That's
Oppenheimer
part
had
yeah.
that. You know, Oppenheimer was a movie that a lot of people were like, I need to see this, right? Uh,
That's part
um,
of the argument too, is that like they just need to make better movies.
yeah. Well, and I mean like because like Halo 3, dude, like when it came out or when they were doing the marketing for it, like it was everywhere. Like you go to Walmart and they have like
Peak Halo, yeah.
yeah, they have, you know, freaking Mountain Dew Game Fuel, and then like there's posters everywhere. Like you just can't escape it. And like I think even Burger King had a meal that you could get that was just Halo themed. Like that they they don't do that anymore. Like sure, they might have like Call of Duty on like a Mountain Dew pack or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like that's been done so many times. Like it has to be unique. You have to do it in new ways to make it so that people get hyped about it. Like wow, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
Everyone's involved with it. So
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's I know AMC just said that they're gonna start doing $5 Wednesdays, which is pretty
I
crazy.
did see that. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a step in the right direction. I don't know. It's a problem that doesn't really have like a solution that
I
works for
mean,
everybody.
aside from just making people more excited to actually go, there's not much that you can do. I mean, because think about it, like when you have these like $100 million budgets for marketing, what are they doing with that? I don't get that. Like, it can't
I
be that
mean,
expensive to make a
there's
trailer.
there's a lot of theories out there that some of these really insane movies, like there's a lot of money laundering and stuff that happens, and people are it's like, "Oh, this producer made like 5 million. That's weird." You know? Like
Yeah, I think
I don't know.
you know because like the
I
budget
don't know.
for Halo's
I'm still
marketing,
learning how it works, but
Halo 3's marketing was like 40 million, and look at how much they did with that. You know, like
yeah, that's the other thing. Like me personally, I think that social media is the best route for me. Like if I want to market a film,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like
Either
spending
way,
money on social media ads.
I think you just need to get people excited to go and see the movie. Like it needs to be something where they're constantly they're like, you know what, fine, I need to go see what this thing's about, and then they go and check it out. It's
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, a part of it is like, you know, like Mickey 17, for example, they make a movie that's, you know, it's like one of the biggest original, like Sinners is a similar thing where it's like, it's technically like, you know, it's a completely original film. They, the thing is like, when you spend that much money on a movie, it makes it that much harder for it to be a success. That's why I've been asked before. It's like, oh, you know, like what kind of like franchise film, what kind of like remake would you want to do? And it's like, I don't know if I ever want to do anything like
yeah,
that because like there's it becomes about money and all and like pleasing fans and all this stuff in a way that like takes away from the creativity and fun
Yeah,
of it,
and
you
you
know?
you
I'd rather make
see
original films for super cheap.
you can see how hard those movies and shows fail when they don't hit the mark just right. Like I mean, once again, bringing up Halo, the Halo show, like nobody is like, oh man, I'm so stoked for Halo unless they never played the games. Like I mean, I think mom and dad watched the Halo show and they were like, yeah, it's all right, and I'm like, yeah, I heard awful things about it. You know, like
Yeah, took his
people,
helmet off like right away.
yeah, and so it's things like that. Yeah, like when the
Yeah.
people making it don't get it just right, even if they get most of it right. Like even the Fallout show was good, but people were complaining about little details with it, and that is like one of the best examples of a good video game adaptation. You know, so I don't know. I bottom line, I think there's a lot of factors, but I haven't been hyped to see something in a while. Like even same thing goes with games. You just have to hype it up enough to make you go, okay, like everybody's gonna be involved with this. I think a lot of it is just hype.
Yeah. I don't know. It's it I love movies so much and like filmmaking and all that. And so it's definitely like I try to remind myself that like the Hollywood has gone through phases like this before, you know? Where like it seemed like, oh, Hollywood's dead. Um but I think there's always an audience for it, even if it's like smaller or I don't know. It's I definitely think that like Gen Z doesn't appreciate film as much as previous generations, like
That's
millennials and
fair.
stuff.
That's definitely
So I
fair.
think social media is the new reality TV, and I hate it. You know, I feel like a lot of social media now is like the stuff that goes viral is like crazy shit happening in public, people getting hurt, like arrested, stuff like
Yeah.
that. Not so much people making like fun, creative things, you know.
Well,
And it's disappointing as a creator, but
social media also moves so freaking fast, and there's so many different segments of it that it's like you'll never be able to explore everything and be up to date on everything. Like, you know, I'm 23 and I already feel old because there's things that are happening where I'm like, I don't know what that term means. Like I saw this one thing where it was it said something about like it was kind of like a meme of like SpongeBob, but he had like a giant butt, right? And it said my body tea, yours is coffee, right? And I was like, what does that mean? Like I've heard like the tea, right? I've heard that phrase before, but I'm like, what does it mean when someone's body is tea? So I had to go down this whole rabbit hole figuring out what that means. And I guess it just means
Mhm.
like that's a new term basically saying like tea equals good. It's like that's I was like, I don't know why, but that's like things like that. It's making me feel old. It's because social media just moves so freaking fast, dude. Like there's just so many new
yeah.
things happening. It's that's like I said, it's like that's what people live in now, you know?
Well, not I don't want to end this on a depressing note, so I guess we'll wrap up with some recommendations here. One is a depressing movie, the other one's a really fun one.
Okay.
So, um, I recommend Mass. I just rewatched it because Ben and I are working on a script right now for somebody, and that's one of our inspirations for it. Mass is about two sets of parents who meet at a church to discuss or I guess find closure after a mass shooting, and one set of the parents is the parents of the shooter, and the other set of parents is parents of one of the victims.
Mm,
Um, so it's really really good, really interesting, really intense, dialogue driven, made for like 300K, but has great actors in it that you would recognize them. And then my other recommendation is RRR, which I just watched, which means like Rise, Revolt, something else. It's an Indian Bollywood. It's the most expensive Bollywood film ever made, and it's on Netflix. Um, it's just a 3-hour insane action-packed adventure, with like random dance numbers and all kinds of stuff. It's just
There's a lot going on in it.
unapologetic fun. Like it's just like the action is so over the top, but it's like executed in such a cool, badass way that it like you don't even care. It's just like turn your brain off and have a good time. And yeah, I got a video coming out on that soon, but I'm excited because um I think that Sorry, I just got my brain just went in a completely different direction because Bobby's texting me. She's like trying to figure out what to do with the babysitter and stuff. Um, I uh, God, what was I gonna say? I recommend it. I'm excited to see like um, what people think. So like I reviewed it on Letterboxd. So go watch RRR. It's on Netflix. Um, it's in like Hindi or something, but there's also English in it. So it's like really, it's just crazy. It's all over the place, but really fun. And comment on my Letterboxd after you like watch it. And if you have Letterboxd, comment in the put in the YouTube comments your like username, and if you're following me, I'll follow you back.
Very
So
cool. I have a recommendation where this might be a first. Have I recommended food before? Have either of us recommended food before?
I don't think so.
Okay. So, and you're gonna be like, well, this is nothing new to you, but I think there's a lot of people who haven't tried this, and I was having a conversation with somebody about this recently. But my recommendation is to go get some sourdough bread and some grape juice. Go dip the sourdough in the grape juice and eat the sourdough.
What, have communion?
No, but that's not how communion's actually done. We just did it that way because it was like easier. But go do that. It's freaking good. Okay.
It is good.
It is also like one of the few times where I remember like I'm gonna drink grape juice because grape juice is very acidic, and so like if I just drink straight grape juice, I'm like, what am I doing, you know? But like the way that sourdough is, it balances very well with like the acidity of grape juice. Like it's very
Yeah.
good. Freaking love that. Great snack as well because it's not like it's not like you're eating something with like super high calories or anything like that, you know. But it's really good, man. It's really freaking good. I
Yeah.
love that. So,
Bobby's been making sourdough bread.
dude, I want to
Oh.
do that. I freaking love sourdough.
It's a
Sourdough
lot
is
of
like
work.
my favorite bread. 100%.
It's a lot of work though.
I'm sure it is.
It's like a pet. You have to like feed the yeast and stuff. It's like
Yeah, but like you can use the same yeast culture for like ever, can't you?
yeah.
I know it's boring for a lot of people, but anyways, yeah. Um,
Yeah, now we're
anyways,
talking about cooking.
yeah. But
Baking.
yeah, go do that because it's really good. It's a good snack. Oh man, I'm so jealous. I can't wait for next week when I go to Yuma for a little bit and go to see the dogs and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
all right.
All right. Well, we'll wrap this up. This was a creative, sorry, a chaotic episode discussing
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff, creativity and movies and AI, and oh man, like what an episode. I'm sad I'm not going to see Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I was
well,
really looking forward to that, and flicks. Oh,
Guess that means it's a good time to play Skyrim.
oh
Let's
hell
go.
no! All right, well, we'll see you guys next episode. Hopefully with a guest.
Yep. And I'll be in a different state as well.
Yeah,
So,
new place.
Hopefully.
Buy some G Fuel. Join the Patreon. Join the Discord.
Yeah.
Go Danny
Go
D.
do all that. Yeah. And go try sourdough with grape juice.
Bye.
All right. Peace.